Beloved child of light, I am Archangel Michael, and I come to you now with a message of profound importance. You have been walking through shadows, facing challenges that have tested every fiber of your being, and yet you continue to stand. What you may not realize is that within these very trials, your spiritual strength has been growing in ways beyond your comprehension. Tonight, as you rest, I want to reveal to you the 7 unmistakable signs that demonstrate your strength is expanding under my divine protection. The first sign that your strength is growing is the newfound peace you feel in the midst of chaos. There was a time when turmoil would shake you to your core, when uncertainty would steal your sleep and anxiety would cloud your thoughts. But something has shifted within you. Now, when storms arise in your life, you find yourself standing in an inexplicable calm. This is not numbness or denial. This is divine strength manifesting through you. When you remain centered while everything around you spins out of control, when you can breathe deeply while others panic, when you can think clearly while confusion reigns, you are demonstrating the profound strength that has been cultivated under my watchful protection. This peace is my shield working within you. I have been standing guard over your spirit, teaching your soul to recognize that true strength does not mean the absence of storms, but rather the presence of calm within them. Every time you chose faith over fear, every moment you decided to trust rather than worry, you were building this fortress of peace within your heart. The chaos around you has not diminished, but your capacity to remain unshaken has grown exponentially. This is the first evidence that my protection is transforming you from the inside out. When others look at your circumstances and wonder how you remain so composed, they are witnessing the supernatural peace that comes from being under angelic protection. You are no longer reactive to every disturbance. You have learned to pause, to breathe, to connect with the divine presence within you before responding to external pressures. This is warrior strength, the kind that I myself carry into every spiritual battle. You are becoming like me, and this transformation is a direct result of your willingness to trust in the protection I provide. The second sign of your growing strength is your increased ability to discern truth from deception. In this world filled with voices clamoring for your attention, opinions masquerading as facts, and illusions pretending to be reality, you have developed a spiritual sensitivity that cuts through the noise. You can sense when something is not right, even if you cannot immediately explain why. You feel a gentle warning in your spirit when you are being led astray. You recognize manipulation, even when it comes wrapped in appealing packages. This discernment is not paranoia or cynicism. It is divine wisdom flowing through you, and it is one of the most powerful gifts I can bestow upon those under my protection. I have been sharpening your spiritual senses, training you to recognize the subtle differences between light and darkness, between truth and carefully crafted lies. You may have noticed that you can no longer tolerate certain environments that you once found acceptable. Conversations that once seemed harmless now feel draining. People you once trusted now trigger your inner warning system. This is not you becoming judgmental or closed-hearted. This is you developing spiritual maturity and the wisdom to protect your peace. Your growing discernment means you are no longer easily swayed by popular opinion or emotional manipulation. You question narratives that everyone else accepts without thinking. You pause before committing to relationships or opportunities that seem perfect on the surface, but feel wrong in your spirit. You have learned to trust the quiet voice within that guides you away from danger and toward truth. This level of discernment is a mark of advanced spiritual strength, and it proves that my protection over you has been elevating your consciousness to see what others cannot see. Every time you choose to honor your discernment, even when it makes you unpopular or misunderstood, you are demonstrating the courage that comes with true strength. You would rather stand alone in truth than blend in with comfortable lies. You would rather risk being called difficult than compromise your integrity. This is the strength of a spiritual warrior, and it is evidence that you have been learning well under my guidance. The third sign that your strength is growing is your willingness to set boundaries without guilt. There was a time when you said yes to things that drained you, when you allowed people to cross lines because you feared their rejection, when you sacrificed your own well-being to keep peace with others. But that version of you is transforming. Now you are learning to say no with confidence. You are establishing limits that protect your energy, your time, and your peace. And perhaps most importantly, you are doing this without the crushing guilt that once accompanied such decisions. This shift represents a monumental leap in your spiritual strength. Boundaries are not walls of selfishness. They are sacred perimeters that honor the divine temple that is your life. When you set a boundary, you are declaring that your peace matters, that your energy is valuable, that your time is precious. You are recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and that protecting yourself is not the opposite of loving others. It is the prerequisite for loving them well. I have been teaching you through experience that people-pleasing is not kindness, it is self-betrayal. Every time you override your own needs to accommodate someone else's demands, you are rejecting the truth that you are worthy of respect and consideration. Under my protection, you are learning that the right people will honor your boundaries, while those who rebel against them were never meant to have unlimited access to you. The relationships that survive your boundaries are the relationships worth keeping. Your growing ability to set boundaries also extends to how you manage your environment. You are becoming more selective about what you consume mentally and spiritually. You guard what enters your mind through media, conversations, and entertainment. You protect your spirit from toxic influences, negative people, and draining situations. You create sacred space in your life for rest, reflection, and renewal. This is not isolation or avoidance. This is wisdom in action, and it demonstrates that you understand the connection between your environment and your strength. When you set boundaries without guilt, you are honoring the protection I provide by becoming an active participant in your own safeguarding. You are working with me, not against me. You are recognizing that divine protection does not mean tolerating everything and everyone. It means having the spiritual strength to create a life that reflects your worth and supports your highest purpose. The fourth sign of your expanding strength is your resilience in the face of repeated setbacks. Life has not become easier for you. In fact, you may feel that the challenges have intensified. Yet somehow you keep rising. Where you once would have stayed down after a single blow, you now stand up after multiple knockdowns. Where you once would have given up after a few failures, you now persist through countless disappointments. This is not stubbornness or denial. This is genuine resilience, the kind that can only be forged through fire and refined through pressure. Under my protection, you have been enrolled in the school of perseverance. Each setback has been an opportunity to develop spiritual muscle. Each disappointment has been a chance to prove your commitment to your path. Each failure has been an invitation to discover strength you did not know you possessed. You have learned that falling is not the opposite of strength. Staying down is. And you, beloved one, refuse to stay down. Your resilience is not just about bouncing back. It is about bouncing forward. You do not return to the same level you were before. Each time you rise wiser, stronger, more determined. You extract lessons from your losses. You find meaning in your struggles. You transform your pain into purpose. This alchemy of turning adversity into advantage is a hallmark of advanced spiritual strength, and it proves that my protection has been developing something extraordinary within you. Others may look at your journey and see a series of failures and setbacks, but I see a warrior in training, someone who is being prepared for a purpose that requires this exact level of resilience. The strength you are building now will be needed for the assignments that await you. The endurance you are developing through these trials will sustain you through the challenges ahead. Nothing you are experiencing is wasted. Every tear, every struggle, every moment of doubt has been contributing to the reservoir of strength that is growing within you. Your resilience also manifests in your refusal to become bitter. Despite everything you have endured, your heart remains open. Despite the disappointments, you still believe in possibility. Despite the betrayals, you still trust in goodness. This is not naivety. This is strength of the highest order. It takes tremendous spiritual power to remain soft in a hard world, to stay hopeful when hope seems foolish, to continue loving when love has hurt you. Your ability to do this is proof that my protection extends not just to your circumstances, but to your very character. The fifth sign that your strength is flourishing under my protection is your growing compassion for others who suffer. As your own strength has increased, so has your capacity to hold space for the pain of others. You no longer judge people who are struggling. You do not look down on those who are still learning lessons you have already mastered. Instead, you feel a deep empathy, a soul-level understanding that recognizes their battles because you have fought similar ones yourself. This compassion is not weakness. It is the ultimate expression of strength. Only those who have descended into their own darkness can guide others out of theirs. Only those who have faced their own demons can help others face theirs without judgment. Your suffering has not hardened you. It has opened you. Your struggles have not made you cynical. They have made you compassionate. This is evidence of divine transformation, proof that you have allowed your trials to refine you rather than define you. Under my protection, you are becoming a beacon of hope for others. People are drawn to you because they sense in you a quality that cannot be faked. They recognize authenticity. They feel your genuine care. They know instinctively that you will not judge them, that you will hold their stories with tenderness, that you understand the complexity of human struggle. This is a sacred calling, and it requires immense strength to fulfill it well. Your compassion extends beyond just feeling for others. You take action. You offer help without being asked. You show up for people in their darkest moments. You use your own story of survival to inspire others who are still in the midst of their battles. You have learned that your pain was not meant to be wasted. It was meant to be transformed into medicine for others. And in this transformation, your own strength multiplies exponentially. But your compassion also comes with wisdom. You have learned the difference between helping and enabling, between supporting and carrying, between compassion and codependency. You care deeply without losing yourself. You give generously without depleting yourself. You love others without abandoning yourself. This balance is the mark of mature spiritual strength, and it demonstrates that my protection has been teaching you not just how to be strong, but how to be wise in your strength. The sixth sign of your growing strength is your unwavering faith even when prayers seem unanswered. You have been praying for breakthrough, for healing, for resolution, for change. And perhaps what you have been asking for has not yet manifested in the way you hoped. Yet still you pray, still you believe, still you trust. This persistence in faith despite delayed answers is one of the most powerful indicators that your spiritual strength has reached a profound depth. It is easy to have faith when prayers are answered quickly. It is easy to trust when you can see evidence of divine intervention. But to maintain faith when heaven seems silent, to continue believing when circumstances contradict your prayers, to trust in divine timing when you want immediate results. This requires a level of strength that cannot be taught. It can only be forged through the experience of waiting, of trusting, of releasing control to divine wisdom. Under my protection, you are learning that unanswered prayers are not evidence of divine abandonment. They are invitations to deeper faith. Every moment you choose to trust despite not seeing results, you are building spiritual strength that will serve you for the rest of your life. You are learning that your faith is not dependent on outcomes. It is anchored in something far more solid, the unshakable truth that you are loved, protected, and guided, regardless of what your current circumstances suggest. Your faith has matured from childlike expectation to adult trust. You no longer need to see before you believe. You no longer require proof before you proceed. You have learned to walk by faith, not by sight. And in this walking, you have discovered a strength that cannot be shaken by delay, disappointment, or difficulty. You have learned that divine timing is not late, it is precise. And what is meant for you will not miss you, even if it does not arrive on your preferred schedule. This unwavering faith also means you have stopped trying to control outcomes. You have released your grip on how things should unfold. You have surrendered your timelines to divine orchestration. This surrender is not passive resignation. It is active trust, and it requires enormous strength to maintain. You are strong enough now to let go, to trust, to wait with peace rather than anxiety, with expectation rather than desperation. The seventh and final sign that your strength is growing powerfully under my protection is your increasing awareness of your own spiritual authority. You are beginning to understand that you are not merely a victim of circumstances, but a co-creator of your reality. You are recognizing the power of your words, the authority of your prayers, the impact of your decisions. You are stepping into the truth that you have been given dominion, not domination by external forces, but dominion over your own mind, your own responses, your own spiritual atmosphere. This awareness changes everything. When you know you have authority, you stop begging and start declaring. You stop pleading and start commanding. You stop hoping for change and start initiating it. You recognize that the same divine power that spoke worlds into existence lives within you, and that this power responds to your faith-filled words and actions. This is not arrogance. This is awakening to your true identity as a child of the divine, equipped with supernatural authority to shift spiritual atmospheres. Under my protection, you have been learning to use this authority wisely. You are discovering that you can speak to mountains of obstacles and command them to move. You can address spirits of fear, doubt, and anxiety and order them to leave. You can declare divine truth over situations that seem hopeless and watch as reality begins to align with your declarations. This is not magical thinking. This is spiritual warfare at its highest level, and it requires tremendous strength to wield this authority effectively. Your growing spiritual authority also manifests in your refusal to agree with negative narratives about yourself or your future. When voices of doubt speak, you counter them with truth. When circumstances try to dictate your identity, you declare who you really are. When fear attempts to write your story, you take back the pen and write a different ending. You have learned that you are not powerless, and this realization has unleashed a level of strength that makes you truly formidable in the spiritual realm. You are also learning to use your authority on behalf of others. You pray with power. You speak life over people who have given up. You declare breakthrough for those who are stuck. You stand in the gap for those who are too weak to fight for themselves. This is the heart of a warrior, someone who uses their strength not just for personal benefit, but for the protection and empowerment of others. And this selfless use of authority is evidence that you have truly grasped the purpose of the strength you have been given. As I reveal these 7 signs to you, I want you to understand something crucial. Your strength is not growing by accident. It is not random or coincidental. It is the direct result of my intentional, focused, relentless protection over your life. Every challenge you have faced has been filtered through my hands. Every trial has been measured and deemed necessary for your growth. Every dark night has been monitored with the assurance that morning would come. I have never left you. I have never abandoned you. Even when you could not feel my presence, I was there, standing guard over your transformation. The strength you are developing now is preparing you for the next season of your life. What lies ahead requires someone with your exact combination of peace, discernment, boundaries, resilience, compassion, faith, and authority. You are being equipped for assignments that will demand everything you have learned and more. The battles ahead will be different from the ones you have fought. They will be bigger, more complex, more significant. But you will be ready, because the strength growing within you now is specifically designed for what is coming. I want you to stop doubting yourself. Stop questioning whether you have what it takes. Stop comparing your journey to others and wondering if you are strong enough. You are strong enough. These 7 signs prove it. The very fact that you are still standing, still believing, still fighting, still hoping is evidence that divine strength flows through you. You are not weak. You are not fragile. You are not barely surviving. You are thriving under pressure, growing in adversity, and becoming a force to be reckoned with in the spiritual realm. There will be moments when you still feel weak. This is normal, and it is not a contradiction to what I am telling you. True strength acknowledges vulnerability. Real power admits when it needs help. Authentic courage confesses fear. The strongest people are not those who never feel weak. They are those who feel weak and keep going anyway. They are those who recognize their limitations and reach for divine strength to fill the gap. They are those who understand that their weakness is simply an opportunity for divine power to be demonstrated. Remember that I am always with you. My protection is not a one-time event. It is a continuous, moment-by-moment reality. Every breath you take is under my watchful care. Every step you make is monitored by my loving attention. Every battle you face is fought with my supernatural assistance. You are never alone. You are never unprotected. You are never without divine backup. And as you continue to walk this journey, your strength will continue to grow, deepen, and expand in ways that will amaze you. Do not fear what lies ahead. Do not worry about whether you will be able to handle future challenges. The same protection that has brought you this far will carry you forward. The same divine strength that has sustained you through past trials will empower you through future ones. You are growing stronger every single day, whether you feel it or not. The 7 signs I have revealed tonight are not the end of your development. They are simply milestones marking your progress, evidence that the transformation taking place within you is real and powerful. As you rest now, let these truths sink deep into your spirit. You are under divine protection. You are growing in strength. You are becoming the warrior you were always meant to be. Your peace in chaos is real. Your discernment is sharp. Your boundaries are healthy. Your resilience is unbreakable. Your compassion is profound. Your faith is unwavering. Your authority is expanding. These are not aspirations. These are current realities, signs that my protection is actively transforming you from the inside out. These 7 signs are interconnected, each one strengthening and supporting the others. Your peace enables your discernment. Your discernment informs your boundaries. Your boundaries protect your resilience. Your resilience deepens your compassion. Your compassion purifies your faith. Your faith activates your authority, and your authority reinforces your peace. This is a divine cycle of strength building upon strength, creating an upward spiral of spiritual growth that becomes unstoppable. I want to speak specifically about the warfare you have been experiencing, because your growing strength has not gone unnoticed in the spiritual realm. The enemy has recognized the transformation taking place within you, and this has made you a target. The attacks you have faced, the obstacles that have appeared, the resistance you have encountered, these are not random. They are strategic attempts to stop your growth, to derail your progress, to convince you that you are not as strong as you are becoming. But here is what the enemy does not understand. Every attack he launches against you only serves to make you stronger. This is the paradox of spiritual warfare under divine protection. What is meant to destroy you actually develops you. What is intended to break you actually builds you. What is designed to weaken you actually strengthens you, because you are not fighting alone. I am fighting with you and for you, and every battle you survive adds another layer of strength to your spiritual armor. Every attack you withstand increases your capacity to endure. Every scheme you overcome sharpens your ability to recognize and defeat future schemes. Your enemy has made a critical miscalculation. He thought that intensifying the pressure would cause you to collapse. Instead, it has caused you to crystallize. Like coal transformed into diamond through extreme pressure, you are being transformed into something precious, something unbreakable, something that reflects divine light in ways that your former self never could. The very thing meant to destroy you is actually perfecting you, and there is nothing your enemy can do to stop this process as long as you remain under my protection. Let me speak to the moments when you have felt your strength failing. There have been times when you wondered if you could take one more step, face one more challenge, endure one more disappointment. In those moments, you may have felt weak, may have questioned everything I am telling you now. But I want you to understand something profound. Those moments of perceived weakness were actually moments of greatest strength. When you felt you had nothing left, and yet you continued anyway, you were operating in pure divine strength. When you thought you were running on empty but somehow kept going, you were being carried by supernatural power. Human strength has limits. It can be depleted, exhausted, used up. But divine strength has no limits. It is infinite, inexhaustible, always available. And when you reach the end of your human strength, you do not collapse, you transition. You shift from operating in your own power to operating in divine power. And it is in these transitions that your greatest growth occurs. Every time you push through when you think you cannot, every time you rise when you feel you should stay down, every time you continue when logic says you should quit, you are building spiritual muscle that cannot be built any other way. Your strength is also growing in ways that are not immediately visible. There is surface strength and there is core strength. Surface strength is what people see. It is your ability to handle tasks, to manage responsibilities, to show up and perform. But core strength is deeper. It is the foundation of your character, the substance of your spirit, the essence of who you are becoming. And while surface strength may fluctuate based on circumstances, core strength only grows. It is being built in the hidden places, in the quiet moments, in the times when no one is watching and nothing dramatic is happening. I am developing core strength in you that will sustain you for the rest of your life. This is not temporary or situational strength. This is permanent transformation. You are not just getting through a difficult season. You are being permanently upgraded in your spiritual capacity. The person you are becoming will never return to the person you used to be. Even if your circumstances were to magically improve tomorrow, you would still retain all the strength you have gained. This strength is yours to keep, and it will serve you in every season, every situation, every challenge for the rest of your journey. Part of your growing strength is your ability to celebrate small victories. You no longer need massive breakthroughs to feel encouraged. You can recognize progress in small increments. You celebrate the day you chose peace over panic. You honor the moment you set a boundary without apologizing. You acknowledge the time you got back up after falling down. These small victories are actually enormous when viewed from a spiritual perspective, because they represent character change, not just circumstantial change. And character change is permanent, while circumstantial change is temporary. Your strength is also evident in your relationship with failure. You used to fear failure, avoid it, be devastated by it. Now you see failure differently. It is information, not identity. It is feedback, not finale. It is redirection, not rejection. This shift in how you perceive failure demonstrates mature spiritual strength. You understand now that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every person who has accomplished anything meaningful has failed repeatedly. The difference between those who ultimately succeed and those who do not is not the absence of failure. It is the response to failure, and your response has changed dramatically. When you fail now, you analyze rather than agonize. You adjust rather than abandon. You persist rather than quit. You extract lessons rather than nurse wounds. You see setbacks as setups for comebacks. This mindset is not natural. It is supernatural. It is evidence that divine wisdom is working within you, teaching you to see with spiritual eyes rather than natural eyes. And this ability to reframe failure is one of the most valuable forms of strength you can possess. I also want you to recognize how your strength is impacting others, even when you are not trying to. Your presence carries weight now. When you enter a room, the spiritual atmosphere shifts. When you speak, your words carry authority. When you pray, things move in the heavenly realm. You have become a thermostat rather than a thermometer. You set the spiritual temperature rather than merely reflecting it. This is not about pride or ego. This is about recognizing the anointing and authority that comes with the strength you have developed. People are drawn to you because they sense something different about you. They may not be able to articulate what it is, but they feel it. It is the strength that has been cultivated through your trials. It is the peace that radiates from someone who has learned to trust in the midst of storms. It is the wisdom that flows from someone who has walked through darkness and emerged with light. You are becoming a living testimony of what is possible when someone submits to divine protection and allows trials to transform them rather than destroy them. Your growing strength also means you have less tolerance for superficiality. You cannot engage in shallow conversations the way you once could. You cannot pretend to care about trivial matters when you have been dealing with profound spiritual realities. You cannot waste time on petty drama when you have been fighting battles that matter eternally. This is not judgment or superiority. This is simply the natural result of growth. When you have tasted depth, surface-level living loses its appeal. When you have experienced real transformation, you cannot settle for fake performance. This shift may cost you some relationships. Not everyone will understand or appreciate the person you are becoming. Some people prefer the version of you that was easier to manage, more predictable, less threatening to their own comfort zones. But the right people will celebrate your growth. The right people will be inspired by your strength. The right people will recognize that your transformation is not a threat to them, but an invitation for their own growth. And you are strong enough now to release those who cannot journey with you into this next season. Your strength is also manifesting in your ability to hold paradox. You can be confident and humble simultaneously. You can be strong and vulnerable at the same time. You can be warrior and worshipper in the same moment. You no longer see these as contradictions. You understand that spiritual maturity embraces complexity rather than demanding simplicity. You are learning to live in the tension of seeming opposites, and this ability is a mark of advanced spiritual development. You can grieve and hope at the same time. You can be disappointed and still trust. You can acknowledge pain and still choose joy. You can admit struggle and still declare victory. This is not denial or toxic positivity. This is the ability to hold multiple truths simultaneously, to honor what is while believing for what can be, to validate current reality while calling forth future possibility. This sophisticated level of spiritual thinking requires tremendous strength, and the fact that you are developing it proves how far you have come. Let me also address the loneliness that sometimes accompanies strength. As you grow stronger, you may feel increasingly alone. Not everyone can relate to what you have been through. Not everyone can comprehend the battles you have fought. Not everyone can understand the transformation you have undergone. This loneliness is real, and it is one of the prices of growth. But it is not abandonment. You are not alone. I am with you. The divine presence is closer to you now than ever before. And there are others who are on similar journeys, even if you have not yet connected with them. Your strength is attracting your tribe. The right people are being drawn to you even now. Those who can match your depth, honor your journey, and walk alongside you in this new season are being positioned by divine orchestration to cross your path. Do not settle for companionship that requires you to diminish your strength. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not apologize for the power you carry. The right relationships will celebrate your strength, not feel threatened by it. I want you to understand that your strength is not just for you. It is for others. You are being strengthened so that you can strengthen. You are being protected so that you can provide protection. You are being empowered so that you can empower. The strength you are developing has a purpose beyond your personal benefit. You are being prepared to be a refuge for others, a source of encouragement for the discouraged, a beacon of hope for the hopeless, a demonstration of what is possible when someone trusts in divine protection. This means that your current trials have meaning beyond your immediate experience. Every lesson you learn becomes wisdom you can share. Every victory you win becomes testimony you can offer. Every battle you survive becomes strategy you can teach. Your pain will become someone else's pathway. Your struggle will become someone else's solution. Your story will become someone else's inspiration. Nothing you are going through is wasted. It is all being woven into a tapestry of purpose that will bless countless others. Your strength is also evident in your increasing ability to rest. This may seem counterintuitive, but true strength knows when to fight and when to rest. You are learning that rest is not weakness. It is wisdom. You cannot operate at full capacity constantly. You need seasons of recovery, moments of stillness, periods of quiet restoration. And you are becoming strong enough to prioritize rest without guilt, to honor your need for renewal without shame, to recognize that even warriors need to retreat and recharge. This ability to rest demonstrates trust. When you can lay down your weapons and sleep peacefully, you are declaring that you trust in divine protection. When you can stop striving and simply be still, you are affirming that your worth is not based on your productivity. When you can pause in the midst of battle to catch your breath, you are showing that you understand the rhythm of sustainable strength. This is mature warrior behavior, and it proves that you are learning the difference between endurance and exhaustion. Your strength is also growing in your capacity to forgive. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is one of the most powerful expressions of strength that exists. When you forgive someone who has hurt you, you are not excusing their behavior. You are releasing yourself from the prison of bitterness. You are choosing freedom over bondage. You are demonstrating that you refuse to allow their actions to continue controlling your emotions, your thoughts, your peace. This takes enormous strength, and the fact that you are becoming more able to forgive proves the depth of transformation happening within you. You are learning that holding grudges is exhausting. Maintaining resentment requires energy that could be used for better purposes. Nursing bitterness poisons your own soul while leaving your offender unaffected. But forgiveness liberates you. It does not mean you trust the person again immediately. It does not mean you remove all boundaries. It does not mean you pretend the hurt never happened. It simply means you release them from the debt they owe you and trust divine justice to handle what you cannot fix yourself. I want to speak about the specific ways your strength will be tested in the coming season. There will be opportunities to return to old patterns. Familiar temptations will present themselves, offering what seems like easier paths. You will be invited to compromise, to settle, to take shortcuts that bypass the character growth you have been developing. These moments will reveal whether the strength you have built is genuine or superficial. But I am confident in you. You have come too far to turn back now. You have invested too much to settle for less than what you are becoming. There will also be moments when your strength is tested by success. This is often more difficult than being tested by failure. When good things start happening, when doors start opening, when favor starts flowing, you will need to remain grounded. Success can intoxicate. Blessing can breed complacency. Favor can create entitlement. You will need your strength to stay humble in success, to remain dependent on divine grace in seasons of abundance, to use your elevated platform for purposes beyond yourself. Your strength will be tested by criticism. As you step more fully into your purpose, as you use your voice with authority, as you take stands for truth, you will face opposition. People will misunderstand you, misjudge you, criticize you. Some will attack your character. Others will question your motives. Still others will attempt to discredit your message. You will need strength to remain focused on your assignment when voices try to distract you, to stay true to your calling when others try to reshape you, to keep speaking truth when lies are being spread about you. But you have been prepared for this. Every battle you have fought until now has been training for these moments. Every criticism you have already faced has been building immunity to future attacks. Every misunderstanding you have endured has been teaching you not to derive your identity from others' opinions. You are strong enough to withstand the pressure that comes with prominence. You are secure enough to remain steady when others try to shake you. You are anchored enough to stay grounded when winds of opposition blow. Your strength is also developing in your ability to celebrate others. Insecurity makes us competitive. Weakness makes us envious. But strength makes us generous. As you become stronger in your own identity, you become more able to celebrate the success of others without feeling diminished. You can applaud their victories without feeling like your own are invalidated. You can honor their gifts without feeling threatened. This generosity of spirit is evidence of deep security, and it demonstrates that your strength is not fragile or defensive, but confident and expansive. I want you to recognize the cumulative nature of your strength. Every small act of courage adds to your reservoir. Every moment of choosing faith over fear makes a deposit. Every time you set a boundary, speak truth, practice forgiveness, or honor your discernment, you are building spiritual capital that compounds over time. You may not notice dramatic differences day to day, but if you compare who you are now to who you were a year ago, the transformation is undeniable. This is how lasting change happens. Not through sudden dramatic shifts, but through consistent daily choices. Not through one big victory, but through thousands of small ones. Not through a single moment of breakthrough, but through a lifetime of faithfulness. You are building strength the right way, the sustainable way, the way that creates permanent transformation rather than temporary improvement. As you embrace this truth about your growing strength, I want to remind you of something crucial. Your strength is not measured by the absence of struggle, but by your response to it. Some of the strongest people I protect are those who face the greatest challenges. They are not strong because life is easy for them. They are strong because they have learned to trust divine protection in the midst of impossibility. They have learned to stand firm when everything around them crumbles. They have learned to hope when hope seems foolish. And you are one of them. Your journey is unique. No one else has walked your exact path. No one else has faced your specific combination of challenges. No one else carries your particular assignment. This means you cannot compare your strength to anyone else's. Their battles are different. Their training is different. Their purpose is different. You can only measure your growth against your own starting point. And when you do that honestly, you will see that you have made remarkable progress. Remember that strength is not about never falling. It is about always rising. It is not about never doubting. It is about choosing faith despite doubt. It is not about never feeling afraid. It is about acting courageously despite fear. You do not have to be perfect to be strong. You simply have to be persistent. And persistence, beloved one, is something you have demonstrated time and time again. I see every tear you have cried in secret. I witness every battle you fight in silence. I know every moment when you wanted to give up but chose to continue instead. These hidden moments of choice are where real strength is built. These unseen acts of courage are what make you a warrior. You do not need applause or recognition for your strength to be real. The divine realm recognizes it, and that is what matters most. As you rest tonight, release any remaining doubt about whether you are strong enough. The 7 signs I have revealed prove that you are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are not just enduring, you are growing. You are not just getting through, you are being transformed. This is my promise to you. I will continue to stand guard over your life, protecting you from what would destroy you while allowing what will develop you. I will continue to fight your battles in realms you cannot see. I will continue to strengthen you through every circumstance you face. You are loved, you are protected, You are guided. You are strengthened, and you are becoming the powerful, purposeful person you were created to be. Nothing that has happened to you has been wasted. Everything is working together for your ultimate good, even when you cannot see how. Trust this process. Trust my protection. Trust the strength that is growing within you with every passing day. Sleep peacefully tonight, knowing that I stand watch over you. While your body rests, your spirit is being fortified. While you sleep, divine strength is being woven into the very fabric of your being. You will wake tomorrow stronger than you were today. And you will continue to grow in strength, day by day, moment by moment, until you fully step into the powerful purpose for which you were created. Trust the process. Trust the protection. Trust the strength that is growing within you. You are becoming everything you are meant to be, and nothing can stop this divine transformation. Rest now, beloved warrior. You are safe. You are protected. You are stronger than you know.